Welcome home, residents. It's your Mayor Alistair back once again, and we have some supernova-sized atomic news for you, because the script for the upcoming entry in the cinematic MonsterVerse, Godzilla X Kong Supernova, may have been leaked, and some details have already been revealed. Not only this, but filming for Supernova continues with a new director. And once I reveal who it is, you may be convinced that this film could become the best in the series to date. Because I'm bringing you this red-hot news, I'd appreciate you stomping that subscribe button. It's mine and Jacob's birthdays right now, and we're working super hard to bring you residents content, so we'd appreciate the follow. I'm looking extra hard at the 70% of you that aren't subscribed. Do it, or else Godzilla's coming for you. So this alleged leak comes from Kaiju number 14 over on Twitter, who posted this image of the front page of the screenplay. It says Godzilla X Kong Supernova by David Callahan with revisions by Michael Lloyd Green. This script is the confidential and proprietary property of Legendary Pictures, and no portion of it may be performed, distributed, reproduced, used, quoted, or published without prior written permission. So it's pretty heavy stuff. Now this could of course be easily faked, but may I remind you that Kaiju 14 previously received some intel about Monarch Legacy of Monsters, which also turned out to be true. And this reportedly comes from the same source, so I'm confident that we aren't being played around here. Now, he hasn't just given us the front page, because after being asked for clues to events that happen in the film, Kaiju number 14 responded with a series of emojis depicting plot points from Supernova, leaving us to decrypt it like it's some undiscovered Egyptian hieroglyphs. And it's definitely cryptic, because some of these are just really hard to figure out, but let's try and go over it together and come up with some ideas. The first emoji depicts a mountain range with a snowy cap, which I'm guessing is representing the Hollow Earth, as the film picks up where the last one left off, showing how Kong's tribe have grown in the span of a few years, because they haven't really filmed anything in any cold mountainous locations that could represent this, which makes me think this will be CGI. Next is obviously Utah, where they have been recently shooting, which has been a stand-in for Sedona, Arizona, a location you can see in the trailer for the film, where Caitlin Dever's character may have friends or family, and this scene may introduce us to some of those characters we get to know in the film. Next up appears to be a Japanese building, followed by two girls. Now this could be telling us that the Mothra twins are in Japan, and that the film reintroduces us to them at this location. I doubt it's going to be the Chen twins from King of the Monsters, since they aren't on the cast list. Rather, these may be a new set of characters, adding a new layer of mysticism to the film. Next up we get a sauropod, space, and an asteroid. Now, this is most likely pretty self-explanatory, and is describing a monster coming down from space in a meteor or meteor-like vessel. Upon first looking at this, I thought, is this a Titanosaur? Is Titanosaurus going to be in the film? But I'm pretty sure they're just using it to showcase another Titan being introduced that isn't Godzilla or Kong, since there's pretty limited emojis. Next up is obviously Godzilla and Kong, who are likely completely neutral now, although Godzilla is probably still bothered a little by Kong every now and again, but they aren't hostile to one another anymore after defeating the Scar King together. But they're likely alarmed by the arrival of this new Titan from the stars. Now we have just a salad. It's just a straight up salad. What is going on there? The only thing I can think of is it's a Caesar salad. Caesar salad. Is King Caesar going to be in the film? Yep, that is a stretch. But it's either that, or it's just telling us in the vaguest way possible that another Titan will be awakened in a similar fashion as King Caesar, possibly to help with this fight against this cosmic Titan. Or it could just be a new plant monster or something. The next three I think may be connected are freezing, sleep, and the death emoji. Now, freezing just has to be Shimo, who could be knocked out in a battle and possibly even killed. I certainly hope not, but you let me know what else you think these three mean. And the crown emoji following it only solidifies this theory for me, because since Shimo is an ancient Alpha Titan capable of worldwide cataclysmic destruction, her death would mean the victor would become an Alpha Titan. So perhaps this new challenger has come out on top, and now the other Titans across the world will bend to its will, and it could commence a whole new Titan awakening. It could either mean that, or if we connect it to the next emoji, which is the Union flag of Great Britain, then maybe, I don't know, that a Titan kills the king? Could that be it? Poor Charles. We know that they were filming for Britain earlier in the year, where we see Jack O'Connell responding to an emergency, likely due to a Titan attack, so maybe a Titan goes stomping through Buckingham Palace. Next is a wolf, which could be a new Titan, yeah, like Ralph from Rampage is confirmed for Supernova. Or it could be symbolic for something else, like humanity's Titan fighting force, that could be called like Wolf or something. Next up is the nefarious Canadian flag, which could be where this wolf titan comes from, although I'm almost certain that there's more to it than what these emojis make out to be, and it's some cryptic stuff that won't become clear until we start seeing the trailers for this thing. Next up, red. Just the color red. You know, there's clues and then there's just nothing. Does Canada get obliterated? Is the red symbolizing doom? Or perhaps Godzilla going thermonuclear again, where he becomes red hot? But you'd think they'd use the fire emoji for that. Next one is a little more obvious though, because it's clearly a fairy that was alluded to earlier in the post. He's only put one here, so perhaps the other has been killed, which leads to Mothra helping out in that final battle. Who knows? The final emojis depict Earth and what looks to be an ancient Greek structure, which could be representing a museum or perhaps a return to ancient Hollow Earth ruins, somewhere that we learn more about Godzilla's history. After all, before Wingard left the production, he stated he wanted to do for Godzilla what the New Empire did for Kong, so we could learn a lot more about Godzilla's origins. Now, we don't know if these emojis depict all of the film or just parts of it, and doesn't actually tell us the ending. Hell, this could just be the first act. But there's a reason he kept it vague, and it's to keep Legendary off his ass. Some interesting stuff here though. Of course, we know about the space monster, but it seemingly confirms the return of Mothra's fairies, potentially King Caesar salad, a new wolf titan, and even the death of King Charles III. It's all extremely vague, but leave in the comments what your best guesses are. Now, in other news, Godzilla X Kong Supernova has been filming pickup shots in Mexico City, which, as we can see, consists of hundreds of extras running away from something, whether that's a Titan or something more alien. One thing I love is that a photo shows them shooting from a bus driver's perspective, which gives me big 2014 vibes, where we watch the chaos unfold from a POV perspective from inside the bus. Which is also funny because Sputor's recent comic series Behemoth also takes place on a bus as it's swallowed by a giant monster, so maybe there'll be some references there. But the biggest takeaway from this set piece is that it's being filmed by Darren Prescott. If you don't know who he is, he was the second unit director for John Wick and Baby Driver. He's also a stunt coordinator, which means that if these scenes have 1% of the sauce that his other films have, we may be onto a winner here. He really knows how to direct great stunts and action set pieces, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he brings to the MonsterVerse. We could have some of the best large crowd scenes in the series to date, with people getting run over or stampeding over each other to escape the Titans. Could get real messy, and I can't wait. There's also some huge news regarding a new Toho Godzilla film that has just been revealed, but we think that deserves a whole video to itself, so look forward to Jacob's video on that early next week. In the meantime, subscribe and stomp the notification button to keep up to date with everything at DangerVille, and be sure to give us a big old Kong-sized thumbs up. I've been Alistair, and we'll see you residents in the next one.